Happy New Year, Colts. This is your first Coltcast of 2023. Now, we know how chaotic winter break got near the end, with the atmospheric river around New Year's Eve, and here's a quick recap of what happened. Of course, we had Highway 101 flooding in downtown South San Francisco near the Biotech District, and on San Bruno Mountain, we had some mudslides. Now, we could see more flooding and mudslides as we have another storm system on the way. We'll get to that soon, but let's get some stuff over with. Now, a brief almanac. Our average will be in the mid to upper 50s, low to mid 40s for lows. Our records aren't really that eye-catching. We are getting daylight, and so far this month and year, we have about half an inch of rain, with a lot more on the way. Our headlines, we have rain moving in overnight, with heavier rain later on, especially during the morning commute. Torrential rain to arrive by late afternoon, a little bit after dismissal, which will be a little good for us. Our wet and active pattern will stay with us for a while, so be prepared for more rain after today. Now, from the National Weather Service, we are under a flood watch, which will be in effect from 4 a.m. today to 4 a.m. tomorrow, and a high wind warning from 4 a.m. today to 10 a.m. tomorrow. Now, this is our impressive bomb cyclone off the coast of California. You can see our atmospheric river on the bottom right near the San Francisco label. Now, this is one of our most intense storms in a long time. So, we'll have very high impacts and hazards. So, we'll have to see what will happen. Now, last month, we ended off with a bang with 10.69 inches observed in El Camino High for the last month of December. San Francisco had 14.79 inches of rain. Millbrae had 15.21 inches of rain, and the coast ranged from 10.84 inches to even around a foot in Lindomar. Now, like I said, we have a lot more on the way, with even around 5 a.m. The atmospheric river will give us its first round, and will be around moderate to light rain. But for the morning commute, as we all head back to school for the first day after winter break, it will weaken to some light to a little bit of moderate far away from us. So the morning commute will still be challenging, so stay safe, but this is not even the worst of the storm yet. We'll even have a dry break at lunch, with the rain being kind of scattered, but the heaviest rain is still on the way. Around 3 p.m., which will be an hour, we should all be home by then. We have the atmospheric river to our west already, and will be making landfall in the next few hours. The most intense part will be around 6 p.m. Now, this is where the wind threats start to kick in. We'll have heavy rain from the north to South Bay, with strong wind gusts, especially at the coast and near San Francisco. And it'll be heavy downpours, strong winds. We could see power outages and down trees, so please stay safe out there, and especially tonight. Now, this heavy rain and strong winds will stick with us up to Thursday around midnight. We'll have the rain starting to lighten up, and you'd be like, oh, we're done. Well, actually, not yet. Now, we know we have no school on Thursday, and here's kind of the reason why. We'll have another band of rain moving in around 8 a.m., and not really as intense as Wednesday's, but it would still worsen any hazards or like flooding or any other concerns out there. So now we kind of know why we have no school, to keep us all safe from like our commutes to school, and there could also be damages at the school or anywhere else. So yeah, that's why we don't really have school on Thursday. It will take the whole day for light to moderate rain to finally move out of the bay. So around 10 p.m. it will finally be out. But look at these rain totals. 3.15 inches in San Francisco is one of the highest in the metropolitan areas. The more astounding numbers will be in the higher elevations in the Santa Cruz Mountains, Diablo Range, and North Bay Hills, as seen in the pinkish colors. So it won't be as impressive in other urban areas like the Central Valley or the South Bay, but still, it's still flooding is still a concern, and slick roads as well, so please be careful out there. Now, about the winds. These are sustained winds from a WRF Coltcast. We could see about sustained winds of 33 miles per hour in San Francisco, 35 in Livermore, even 40 at Half Moon Bay. Just note that the strongest winds will be along the coast and near San Francisco. So these are just sustained winds, but if you think of gusts, San Francisco will be in the 40 to 60 mile per hour range. Half Moon Bay could sustain in the mid to upper 60s. We could have the East Bay and South Bay in the 30s to 40s, which is not as bad, but could still be a little problematic. So this is another reason why we're also under a high wind warning. So watch out for power outages and downed trees, which are the main impacts from these high winds. Now for the rest of tonight, it'll be in the mid to upper 40s, so kind of mild, as well as daytime highs with southern winds. It'll bring in some warmer air, so during our drive back at lunch, we could make it to the mid to upper 50s. For the next week, we only have one dry day, which is Friday. The rest of the days we'll still have to deal with atmospheric rivers, flooding, strong winds, down power lines, power outages, down trees, and a lot more. So stay tuned, stay safe, and that is your first Coltcast of 2023.